Okay, I'm gonna record a little something right now, even though my face is all puffy because I was out drinking all night and I'm a little bit hungover, but that's okay because I need a little bit of that lubrication to talk because I want to talk about some very, challenging things for me to talk about. I think I hold a lot back, but I want to speak on it. Because it's a lot going on, and it's a lot going on for everybody. You know, uh, this tragedy that has impacted my family. I think a lot of other families are going through, so I feel it. But I describe it just for me as being, biblical proportions. It feels like I'm living in the Old Testament or something, and I have such an unrest. Kind of speak about it. So as I've been moving around, I've encountered uh, a few preachers in my travels. So I think there's a lot of people connecting to spirituality and this is was not in a church. This is like my cab driver to the airport, my cab driver from the airport. Uh, I've been encountering preachers, right? And uh, you know, I guess I feel like for myself, I have always been a very sensitive person. Um, Soft, sensitive. Uh, I felt my emotions very strongly, and lucky for me, I was nurtured. All children need nurturing, right? They need touch. They need to be held. They need affection. It's what helps us to become develop into good people, as opposed to develop into something else. Um, and and lucky for me that I as a sensitive person, I would say that I needed that more than anyone, and I did get that. Now I also got a lot of uh, a lot of other things, discipline, um, the opposite of receiving that affection, right? Because we do that to our children as well, and that's a part of living and understanding that opposite side of the coin, right? And if you get both, you'll be somewhat balanced. Me as a soft, sensitive nigga, should be saying nigga, I'm gonna cut that out. But being soft and sensitive, people say, oh, you gotta toughen him up, So I can remember, being made to fight, one of my cousins, because he was messing with me, and you can't let nobody mess with you, so you have to fight. So I had to endure that, and it was a very trying thing for me because I'm not a fighter, and but I had to fight him, and I've been in some other fights, and I realized that I am a fighter. I do have a fighting spirit inside of me, and if you pull it out real quick, it will come out, right? The one time that I was in a fight was with this big guy who, I'm sure most of my classmates were afraid of him and I was a soft nigga that ended up fighting him, and uh, and the rest is history. But anyway, uh, so I say all that to say, everyone wasn't as lucky as me, and for the most part, for me, my childhood was just academia, going to school, you know. There was nothing too crazy outside of that. I did experience the loss of a close friend when I was in junior high school. And a lot of people have, today, these kids that are growing up, look at how much loss they are experiencing. And not really having any type of understanding, language, or anything like that to heal from it. People say grief counselors are available. Who's talked to a grief counselor? Very few people, and most of these kids are traumatized about seeing, their teachers, their cousins, their big brothers, their whatever, seeing them, tragically taken away. It's very intense stuff. My cousins have experienced, a lot of tragedy from, their father at very young children, their brother, and probably a whole lot of other traumas and whatnot. And over time, those traumas compounding, and drugs and everything, it screws the brain up. You make a monster overnight. It's a lot of stuff that compounds to it. But, I think that it's scripture, okay? My mom always used to read to me, which one is it? My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. And sinners entice you, and when they talk about when you lay with dogs, you get fleas, but when you do a particular type of conspiring with murderous, unapologetic, thieving, horrible people, you really setting yourself up from it, So, let's see. But y'all need to let go of holding too tight to things, to relationships, to possessions, to all of that. You gotta be able to let stuff go. Surrender and allow what is unfolding to unfold. Look at your traumas and try to heal from that stuff. Why it's making you feel the way that you feel. And, not leaning on the opinions of these people around you who have no sense, who are just, traumatized themselves and are passing the trauma generation to generation. Try to have some goodness in your heart and hope that some good stuff can come back to you because of that. But anyway, yeah. Just see, I am, I'm a seer in the sense that I be seeing stuff before it even happened. I see it in my dreams. Yeah, I see these spirits. I feel like Ezekiel. I feel like I see angels coming down upon me. I see, I saw a eagle. Remember one dream, an eagle carrying a giant like fish in the sky, and it cracked open right in the, fell down and cracked open in the center of my childhood neighborhood. And inside it was pages. It was written word. It was a message. It was, and then the subconscious, maybe that message was dropped and delivered to me, and I'm supposed to deliver that message. But and I have been writing lately, like the pages. And it's not something that I've always known I'm a good writer, but I haven't been writing in practice. But pages are coming to me because, like I said, this is some interesting times. But yeah, and I tend to see the higher dimension in people. I want to expect the best from people. I want to try to encourage people to live in some of that greatness, right? But when you, I don't know, maybe is it a curse? I don't know. But when you holding on too tight to stuff, especially stuff like money, and you letting that control you, and do better.